Hello! I would like to welcome you to the Laramy-K Optician Works Training Center, where today we are going to talk about clip-ons. Clip-ons. Before we head there, we're kind of winding down our series on lens add-ons. We've talked about AR, photochromics, tints, sunglasses, polish, all very legitimate things that we add on to a lens to make a better pair of glasses, make for a happier customer, and of course, drive up income, make money. Right? That's what this is about. Opticians are in business. Opticians are not in healthcare. If you bring money into a practice, you will be valued. You will increase your worth and you will become a far more important person to a business than walking around pretending that you're in healthcare. Now, clip-ons, they're going to be just like photochromics that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. You either love clip-ons or you hate them. There's not a lot of room in between there.
Mostly I hate the way I don't hate you.
Clip-ons are, in the plus side, very convenient. They're great for travelers. I found like really hardcore travel people like to have at least one clip-on available to them. And they're very popular in that because they go from pocket to sun in 2 seconds, or back again.
All right, Steve, let's face a few facts.
They are light, they're small, they make a great backup in case you lost your sunglasses. For high power people that literally cannot see without their glasses, it saves them taking off a pair, finding another one, putting them on. High power people like the convenience of it. Now, because they are light and they are small, they are, for some reason, seem to be something that gets easily lost or damaged. We do keep them in a pocket as a rule, so sometimes they get caught on things, dropped. It's kind of inherent in their design, I'm afraid. They can, not so much anymore, they can add weight if you're already a high power person. You've already got your glasses that are pretty heavy and you go throwing a clip-on there, you're adding even more weight. It's worth mentioning. And they can be fussy, not always, but depending on how they clip onto that frame. Magnet, just snap and they're done. Sometimes they slide, sometimes they catch, sometimes they bend. So it can be a little tricky sometimes. Please keep in mind when you are thinking about clip-ons, and I'll show you some of this in a minute, it does not have to mean sunglasses. Right? It could mean a very light plus that you put on over a distance pair to give yourself a little intermediate or reading. It could be a very light minus, reducing or increasing minus power to give you the range that you need. It could be a blue light filter of some kind. It could be a therapeutic tint that you wear at certain times during the day or in certain lighting. It could be an occupational of some kind. Good optician stuff. And I'm kind of say this again in here, all right? If you want to be valued, right? You want to bring money into a practice, you want to have happy customers, people that come back to you, you want to get paid well. This is the kind of stuff that makes you an optician. Seriously. Let's take a look at the 3 general categories that clip-ons fall into. We can think of clip-ons as being divided into 3 unique categories. The first is the manufacturer, or frame manufacturer. You get the frame and the clip-on from the manufacturer as a perfect matched set. Take a look at those Ecos. Really nice stuff. In fact, I think you would be hard-pressed to tell that that is a clip and frame combination until you go and take them apart. A magnetic connection, really nice craftsmanship, nice way to go. Because it is a match set from the manufacturer, you get matching materials and colors, the shapes are perfect. Be careful when you are pricing those up. It may come from the manufacturer as a set already put together, like those Ecos that I just showed you, the price would be together. Or you may have a frame that on the demo lens, it says clip-on available. You would order that and you would charge up for the cost of that. Be careful. Make sure you know the difference between those two because you could get bit if you don't price accordingly. A little bit of a problem with the manufacturer ones is that they can run out. If your frame is almost through its entire run, somebody buys it the last year, comes back a year later, try to get them apart, try to get them a new clip-on, it's not available, might be a little upset, but generally, if it's only the lens that's damaged, you can usually redo those. You may be able to find a generic clip that fits. Just take care of your customer. Speaking of the customer, you generally have the clip-on customer, the one that always wants the matching set of frame and clip-on, and there are manufacturers that do several lines that are just that. Next, we have the custom aftermarket. These are clip-ons that are designed and made for any frame. I really like Eclipse. The website is clipon.com. Go and check that out for all of the things that they offer. Our friends up in Canada.
Do it. He's in tune. Hey, good day. Welcome to the Great White North.
We've got Albert at McRae Optical, also does some unique aftermarket custom work. Generally speaking, you're going to need to send a frame to the company so that they can get the correct, perfect size and shape. Of course, you might be able to send one from back stock so your customer doesn't have to do without their glasses while it's being made. It's FedEx, it's only a couple of days turnaround time. And McRae Optical actually has a way around that, super creative. Let you check that out. As I just mentioned, for the custom aftermarket, use your imagination. Eclipse does other things besides suns. I'll let you investigate that. Again, what really sets you apart as an optician is doing something creative, filling your customers' needs. Here are some screen grabs and images from Eclipse and McRae. I mean, it's just beautiful work. Certainly something that you would be proud to recommend and sell to a customer. Keep in mind, you actually have greater freedom with custom aftermarket than with manufacturer direct. Within reason, you can play with materials, style, and lens choices. Again, set yourself apart from the crowd. Offer something unique, and for goodness sake, charge accordingly for it. You'll have a happy customer, and most likely, a happy boss, too. Worth mentioning, Silhouette, the company that does all the rimless stuff. You can actually buy a generic clip from them. The bridge mounts to the specific frame line, and then literally you just get 2 squares of polarized film. You take a Sharpie, a pair of scissors, a file, and you can match any shape that you choose to put into a silhouette. Worth knowing, some really good old school optician stuff. And speaking of old school optician stuff, we must include chemistry clips. Chemistry clips are made in over 100 certified chemistry finishing labs across the country and can also be made in-house when you have an edger with drill capabilities and the chemistry software. Yes, you can do these in-house. Heck, it could even be a while you wait sale. The magnetic technology can be used to create sunglasses, blue blocking, intermediate or near clip-ons. Use your good Optician Works optician imagination. But John, does that mean there are actually 2 magnets embedded in the lens? Yes, but just like with the 3-piece mount, after an hour or 2 of wear, your brain stops noticing them. Worth mentioning, both custom aftermarket and generic assortment in early 2022. Still some supply chain issues there, so you may not be getting your assortment box of generic ones until a little bit later in 2022 or maybe even 2023. Generic assortments. You get a tray of 20, 30, 40. They look like that.
It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
And you just take the frame that you just sold, go over to the tray, kind of work your way through, and, well, close is good enough. Sometimes you luck out and it's perfect. They are low-ish in cost. They are very convenient. A person could walk out the store wearing a pair of sunglasses and take them off and have a clear pair if you're edging in-house. They're actually pretty good quality. They're very lightweight. They're polarized. And you know, when it works, it works. It's often the easiest $60 that you'll ever make. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that there is absolutely nothing wrong with a plain old tinted pair of sunglasses. Not everything has to be polarized. In much the same way, there is nothing wrong with a clip-on, whether it's a manufacturer, a custom aftermarket, or even something pulled from a generic assortment tray. Thank you for watching. If you're watching us on Facebook, please give us a like. Watching us on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there in the corner. Make sure that every lens that you're putting a clip-on in front of comes from Laramy-K, and I will see you again next week. But your generic assortments.
Now everybody's gone. Good day.
Good day.
So, like, take off. Take off. You hosers.